Crimson Desert. 15 new details you need to know before you pre-order. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Before we begin, this video is based on our own impressions of Crimson Desert
Gosh, dang
and
it.
reflects our own personal views
Oh,
on what
dang.
it offers. As always, we recommend you make your own informed call by looking into the game yourself and ensuring it matches your expectations, standards, and personal values.
That looks pretty good. Again, the graphics are looking pretty nice. I'm not a big, again, I like graphics, but graphics shouldn't be the end all be all of games. It should be the gameplay that's top priority.
With that out of the way, let's begin. It's a great day for many reasons, but perhaps none more so than seeing Crimson Desert's second part of its features overview series. First one focuses on the story and exploration. Who are the Greymanes? How they end up separated? What is Cliff's purpose? And
It's not Unreal Engine. That is awesome. That means I can actually play it. Probably.
so on. This one is a lot more straightforward, focusing on combat and progression. We've seen glimpses of the former over the past couple of years,
Whoa.
whether it's Cliff RKOing fools out of nowhere or heaving them into the abyss. And we don't
I
mean
don't know.
in the sky. But what else do you need to know about taking the fight to your enemies? Let's dive in, starting with my personal favorite. Nitaryu. We've seen Cliff running around with all manner of melee weaponry over the months, a sword and board setup, a spear, even a pitchfork, but now we have confirmation that he can dual wield as well.
Ah,
a
don't
brief
care for
shot
that.
on the mountainside shows
I have a feeling it's going to be one of those where you have to pick the weapon for the environment. I'm one of those that just likes to swing around a big sword. Dual wield all the way.
a pair of
Claymore.
blades, and based on the left one's curvature, we can assume that they're completely separate. Does this mean being able to mix and match different swords together? One can certainly hope, but for now, seeing them in action, just slicing and dicing through enemies with grace, is satisfying enough.
I don't know. Can you play it on the phone?
Damiani
My wife
and
wants to know.
Unka. The developer didn't come out and say it, but a quick peek at the skills menu has seemingly confirmed the identities of the two other playable characters, Damiane and Unka. Sadly, we didn't get a real look at their skill trees, though thankfully their skills are a different matter. But it's nice to have some clarity after all these teases. Damiane's weapons. But that's not all, as we also got to see
I
a
like
few of
that.
Damiane's other weapon types. While she debuted with a greatsword and short-range pistol,
Nice pistol.
she can also equip a rapier and small buckler for even speedier hits. If that wasn't enough,
Oh, what is the combat type? Like, that's what I'm curious about, is like, what is the actual combat type? Is it more of a hack and slash? I know it's not turn-based, but is it like one button mash, or is it like several buttons? Like there's the heavy move, there's the quick move, there's, you know, like that kind of thing.
Damiane can pull out a musket for even longer range fire, which can unleash more damaging shots after a short delay. The greatsword also reappears later, and the sheer force that it hits with is as impressive as it is devastating.
I like the greatsword.
Unka's weapons. Till now, we've mostly seen Unka with a two-handed axe, but near the end in
I'm pretty sure the guy can have a greatsword as well. I'm pretty sure.
the titular Crimson Desert, we can see him tangling with multiple soldiers using a large hammer. It's another two-handed armament which can knock enemies into each other, charge up for long enough, and swing for the fences to send multiple flying. Unique armor for Damiane and Unka. Briefly seen in the last features overview, but much more obvious this time, is that the other playable characters have their own armor sets. While Unka didn't showcase anything distinctly new, Damiane sported a more regal outfit with a white cape, gold gauntlets and pauldrons, and even a gold headpiece.
This is actually
Another
looking
has
nice.
similar pauldrons, a helm and gauntlets, but on a pure black outfit. With the sheer number of clothing and armor sets seen for Cliff thus far,
The combat actually looks clean. It kind of reminds me of like the original Assassin's Creed, not with the again, it's not turn-based combat, but you know, where it'd slow down and give you a chance to counterattack. I do like how everyone's bunching up, and it's kind of like everyone's waiting for their, kind of like an anime where everyone waits. They have their monologue and then they get to attack afterwards. Everyone attacks at the times. I'm faithful to League of Legends. What?
you have to wonder just how much higher that total will be when factoring the others. Izuna drop.
And I'm getting Elden Ring. Oh, dang. Okay, it looks like it's gonna be an easier version of Elden Ring then. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Elden Ring is a hard game, especially those freaking bosses, those absolute bosses. But if it's close to Elden Ring, that's absolutely great. That's absolutely great. But I'm hoping the skill tree kind of allows you. So I'd rather have a giant skill tree option to where you can condition how your character grows rather than a limited skill tree option where everything is available. Because I'd rather you focus your character, like let's say you wanted to do more of melee combat, you'd have to focus down the melee combat, or like the great sword, or the dual wielding. You could wield the others, but you wouldn't be as good as with your specialty weapon. I would like that.
And leap slams. Of course, we also can't forget about one of the newer combat abilities that Damiane displays, a spinning kick. But before the enemy can be knocked back, she instantly grabs him and unleashes an Izuna drop, Ninja Gaiden style. It's a thing of beauty and directly segues into an execution. Then there's Unka, who can body slam an enemy just like Cliff, or leap slam around with his giant axe like a barbarian. Brutal, but extremely effective.
Yeah, because seeing them in like a big bunch like this, they're all clustered together as you move around. They're like splitting off to different areas, like how they're sliding. But at the same time, again, it's like the mobs are just fabulous. Absolutely, absolutely.
Especially against crowds.
And again, the impact when you do like an attack move or something, just seeing that extra bit of flair.
Fists of Fury.
Like,
While
look at him
it
running
seems
through
you
the
can only
grass.
Equip 2 weapons at a time, at least evidenced by Cliff's inventory showing only 2, that doesn't mean that your enemies can't catch those hands. Clotheslining an enemy in the face and knocking them to the ground isn't enough. You can also
Riding a
unleash
bear.
shoulder tackles that send foes flying, choke slam them, or break their backs. What seems to be a knee lift can be extended into a thrust kick. At one point, Cliff unleashes a series of punches that would make Star
See, that's what I mean. Is like if you can focus primarily your tree to do something that you feel more inclined to. Like, let's say you enjoy having weapons, but you want to be more of a martial artist style. I think that would be absolutely awesome if you could narrow focus your type of build. I'm absolutely okay with that because I'm someone who's like, I absolutely love using like a great sword. Heck, I remember playing Fable back in the day, using a greatsword and just dragging it along the floor with me because I wasn't strong enough to wield it yet. And I'd use it. I'd do the slow attacks because I was not going to stop using that greatsword.
And I'm proud. However, one thing sticks out is bare hands having its own damage stat. Perhaps there's a way to train them further or unlock upgrades for the more bare-knuckle-minded fighter. Of course, just being able to seamlessly switch between all these different weapons is impressive enough. Scope out Cliff parrying an attack with the sword and shield before switching to the spear for a follow-up attack. Elementary, of course. If having enemies taste cold steel isn't enough, why not something warmer? Harnessing the elements allows Cliff to unleash all kinds of powerful effects, like an
elemental martial artist. That'd be awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Area of effect lightning attack that can fell 3 clumped up foes at once. A quick peek at the elemental wheel also showcases fire, ice, wind, and what could be nature.
My wife's upset because she realizes this is not a phone game. Who knows? It might. It might be.
Sure, which seemingly leaves brief after images under attacks. Even if you're not keen on burning or freezing enemies, use wind magic for a quick lift into the air and land on a mass of enemies with a dive kick, as the impact sends them flying. Mounted combat.
What the heck?
We've seen the dwarven mech.
There's a mecha in this game? I guess dwarves. If you have dwarves, you have to have their advanced technology.
And the havoc it can wreak, and the dragon mount that Cliff can soar through the skies with. There's even a bear, among other choices. However, you don't necessarily need your own. Use the grapple and yank an enemy off their own mount to commandeer it for yourself. What I particularly like about the mounted combat—
They have every class, a mage, a knight, a heavy sword user, an archer. Definitely a heavy sword user. A heavy sword user. That would be, well, a heavy sword user / mage. More like a battle knight, or what is it called? I forget what the term is.
Combat is that Cliff isn't just commanding the bear to attack, he's also adding in his own sword swipes into the mix.
So it's multifaceted.
Reset stats.
Holy crap, that's awesome.
Going back to the skills menu for a brief moment, the developer didn't really show much by way of the different nodes, aside from the one meant for increasing stamina. However, alongside a button to enhance them, you can also reset stats. This seemingly indicates the potential for refunding any Abyss artifacts and shifting
Magic
them around,
swordsman, yeah.
perhaps
yeah.
prioritizing more health over stamina for tankiness. If true, it also means you can't test out new skills whenever and build craft to your heart's content. Learning from the best. Remember how Cliff learned how to fish by observing someone doing the same thing, instead of threatening him, which would have been very bad? It ventures beyond additional tasks and extends to learning new skills. By observing what seems to be a hologram of an individual executing the Force Palm, Cliff can pick up the...
Oh my gosh. So it's like how, like, if you watched the Avatar, the original animated Avatar back in the day, Avatar The Last Airbender, how the Earthbenders learned to do earthbendings. They observed the earth moles and saw how they dug through the earth using earthbending, and that's how they learned their power, by emulating it.
skill for himself. But it gets better. You can even learn new skills mid-combat from enemies. So take that flying belly flop that one enemy unleashes and add it to your repertoire. New flying gadget. Cliff seems to be the only playable character who gets those wraith-like wings to navigate through the air, but characters like Damiane have their own gadgets. In one shot, we see her using what seems to be a propeller for gliding, which can spin even faster to fly. Will Cliff also get access to this? Does Unka get his own unique gadget? Whatever the case may be, there's no shortage of ways to traverse Pywell. Top-notch swords. Fancy a better weapon? Visit the vendors throughout Pywell to purchase them. But that's not the end. Take them back to the blacksmith for refinement, increasing their attack stats. You'll need to mine the materials necessary for upgrading, but some of them may require taking out challenging bosses, hunting wild animals, completing quests, or venturing off the beaten path.
So basically, Monster Hunter. Basically, Monster Hunter. You have to go out. You need the pieces for your weapon. You have to go out and hunt the beast where you need the claw or the fang or the spine or whatever. I'm absolutely okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. We need more things like that where it's sure it's a fetch quest. It's a fetch quest, but if you want a better weapon, you have to supply the blacksmith with the better material.
Abyss gear.
I mean, it's something I remember from like watching in anime. Like I hate Sword Art Online. It's a terrible anime, but like they had that quest. They had that fetch quest. Oh, I need you to get this mineral from the dragon in order to make you this blade. Of course.
Weapons can also be customized with Abyss gear. Augments that provide additional effects.
Yeah,
like
Monster
increased
Hunter
attack
with
speed,
Witcher
critical
3 world
hit chance,
building,
and even more
absolutely.
damage against stronger foes. And if the same pattern follows, the best Abyss gear may be obtained from slaying the toughest enemies. Mecha pterodactyls.
Getting the leather.
You would think we've seen it all with Crimson Desert, especially after the reveal of a pilotable mech and a mechanical dragon. But among the bosses encountered in the world is what seems to be a small fleet of mecha pterodactyls. Maybe these are just aircrafts to take down, a trippy sight regardless. And if that's not enough, a giant serpent-like creature brimming with energy can also be fought. By comparison, the giant white spider seen in some ruins feels like child's play. But who knows what else awaits in Pywell. Hey, did you know that we had gaming
That
bugs
was good. That was good. Yeah, she doesn't do joysticks. She needs to do the touch screen. Yeah. So I don't think a Steam Deck would work for her, but honestly, that might be a good idea. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Sorry. I was just in the middle of the video. But yeah. I think maybe a Steam Deck. Would you be okay with the Steam Deck? It's basically like the Switch. She doesn't like the Switch. She likes using the actual touch screen. The actual screen. Imagine that. Of course, India is primarily phone-based games, right? So you play primarily phone-based games. Yeah, I am. I don't have the capability of... my wife said I'm jealous. I don't have the capability to actually touch the screen like that. I don't. But this game absolutely looks good. It absolutely looks good. Whether it'll be executed well... well, who's making it? I think that's what I want to know. Who is actually making it? Because if it's a Western-based game, then it's probably not going to be good at all. But if it's outside, it's just, yeah. I'm a PC person, absolutely. Me too. That's the master race right there. The master race is PC, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for recommending that one. That was actually pretty fascinating because I've basically given up all hope on upcoming games. Yeah, it has touchscreen. It's basically like a computer. The Steam Deck is a computer. Well, I don't think you can do the controls on it like a phone, but it does have touchscreen features, which means you probably could use the touchscreen. Yeah, you're all seeing me on mobile. Exactly. It basically corners the market in India. Absolutely. Honestly, I enjoy a good mobile game. The thing is, I have to connect it to a handheld. Like I actually have a backbone for my phone so I can play games on my phone. Witcher 3 has its own unique world. I can't compare anything with W. It's one of the game which are very close to my heart. Oh, I get that. I get that. Like Witcher 3 is absolutely some people's like hands down best game. Like the just the gameplay mechanics, the like I wouldn't say gameplay loop, but there is a bit of that. But like the dark story, the fun mechanics throughout, the gameplay, the struggle. It's not like one of those games now that comes out where you can literally have the game play itself. And then what's the point of a game if you have it play itself? It's no longer a game at that point. I think the Steam Deck is just perfect for mobile and console gamers. Yeah, well, again, she can't do the joystick or analog or anything like that. She needs the touchscreen, which means she would need to remove the handles to be able to touch it. Which wouldn't happen. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for recommending Crimson Desert. Because I've basically given up hope on Western games. Absolutely given up hope on Western games. Yeah. Withering Waves. Yeah, my wife keeps telling me I need to play Withering Waves. She loves that game. When Genshin Impact is supposed to be the one women like, and Withering Waves is supposed to be the one guys like. Maybe I'll like Genshin Impact because you like Withering Waves. Oh yeah, I can play Withering Waves on the computer. Yes, I can. I used to play PUBG, TFT on mobile or Wild Rift, but I prefer PC League. Yeah, PC League. Oh my god.
You guys got a video? It's so bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, wait like that.